our respect to you for that sincerity. The allegation of irregularity today has been put to a peaceful rest. In your submissions, you highlighted the following. One, that even the standard costing procedure is lower than the industry market price. As contained in your submissions, which submissions have become part of Hansard and is a matter of public records. Two, you have also shared with us as the people's representatives that the variations were occasioned by necessity. The necessity included one, security, which was not initially considered. Two, the need to have a system that would generate power, a recycling facility. You've also indicated that indeed this also necessitated the variation. Third, you've added, and this came through the project manager, that apart from the building, the original tower, there were other additional buildings that were originally not considered as part of the original bid. I'm happy that Hansard has witnessed all these explanations. Hansard has witnessed all these explanations. A moment ago, Mr. Chair, this room was filled. The majority filled all their spaces. And it is obvious the majority leader is looking behind him. Look behind you. All of them have vanished. Mark of friend match, Aboka. Mr. Chairman, I have also from the records of the governor, by way of my point, come to understand that indeed the final value for the project, which is the 261 million, indeed included some 48 million of same as taxes. So, yes, so it wasn't the case that the value by way of the cost paid to the contractor in entirety was some 261 million. However, it was an all-inclusive costing which had a $48 million being paid to the states in taxes. So that distinction has also been drawn, and this parliament is pleased for that information from the governor. My fifth observation, that everything done according to the governor, not mine, according to the governor, everything done was regular. Everything done was within the law. He did. It's here. It's here. The governor, this is the report. I'll read it. Oh, it's okay. I'll read it. I will read it. Don't worry. Don't worry. I read page 7. Let me start from page 7, page 1, paragraph 6. The need to procure a highly complex central bank accommodation, meeting national security considerations, and the bank's highly classified information security needs inform the selection of the firms. The bank wrote to the Public Procurement Authority on 14 January 2020 for approval to use the restricted tendering method. The following firms known to be operating in Ghana, emphasis known to be operating in Ghana, were shortlisted. And the companies are there. Renaissance Construction, though not wholly a Ghanaian-owned company, partnered with the local company, David Water Limited, during the tendering process. Paragraph 7. The PPA, by a letter dated January 2020, conveyed the board's approval to the Bank of Ghana. This approval to use the shortlisted contractors for the restricted tender also revised the estimated cost of the project from 100 million to 81 million. 8. After evaluation of tenders were received, the entity tender committee of the bank, at its meeting held on 6th August 2020, considered tender evaluation panel's recommendation, emphasis, considered the entity tender panel's recommendation, and approved the award of the contract for the project to Mrs. Gold Key Properties Limited at the cost of 121 million under 10 key into bracket design and build contract arrangement. Design and build. So, for emphasis, the project was not just about Gold Key building. Gold Key was required because it was a 10-key project. Was required to design and build. So 2 things. 9. The ETC further directed for concurrent approval to be sought from the Central Tender Review Committee of the Ministry of Finance. So we are going by procedure known in law. Procedure known in law. 10. The PPA, in response to the bank's letter dated 31st August 2020 on the outcome of the tender process, reviewed the initial PPA approval estimated amount of 81 million to the 120 million. So they carried all the recommendations of the review panel back to PPA that we want you to approve, look at it, and then approve it or otherwise. And PPA again approved this. So this is what the central bank is telling us, that they followed due process. Now let's go to their paragraph 10. Very, very important. The PPA, in response to the bank's letter dated, 11, the CTRC, that's the Central Tender Review Committee, in September, so you follow day by day, dates are all captured. September 2020 granted concurrent approval to the bank to engage the recommended tenderer, Mrs. Gold Key Properties Limited, at a contract price of 121 million under 10 key and contract arrangement. Now 12. In November 2020, the bank signed a contract with the contractor for the construction of the corporate headquarters for a period of 30 months, into bracket 6 months for design, 24 months for construction. The project site was formally handed over to the contractor in March 2021 for the commencement of preliminary site works and designs. So, Mr. Speaker, Chairman, from this point, it is clear that due process, according to the central bank, was followed. This is their report, not mine. This is not a partisan report. This is not a report from any consultant. This is a report which is the bona fide of central bank to this house. Mr. Chairman, let's come to design scope and cost reviews. The narrative out there was that a contract sum to gold key amount to X amount. But here, there's a disclosure that there is a design scope. There's a scope for design of the whole work. And we all know that in our own small properties that we build, we engage an architect to design at a different cost, which is not part of the building cost. So at this point, it's been explained. Thank you, Central Bank. Then we come to paragraph 13. The initial design proposals for the project envisage a gross floor area of 73,000 square meters with the following details. 1, 25-story tower block, 4-story car park facility, 2-level basement, and an auditorium. Then on 14, the central bank goes further that they need to reconfigure the special requirement to meet all relevant statutory requirements and functionality and address inadequacies in the employer's requirement resulted in the modification of the initial design concept and scope, and a scope change to the current gross floor area of 107,000 square meters. So, Mr. Speaker, I am emphasizing this because originally the central bank says that it was looking at 73 square meters, 73,000 square meters. Now, in their own report, some people were asking what is the justification for the increase in the prices. Now, the central bank has again told us that they increased the space to 107,000 square meters. And then under this, they are now telling us that the project currently consists 3 main blocks. Originally, it was just 1 block. Now 3 main blocks, and they have named them the tower, the urban and amenities block, with basements, podiums, and ancillary facilities. Now, the under 50 tower block, 20-story.
Honorable members, let there be order. Let's have some order. Honorable Adongo, please resume your seat.
When I'm done, your leader would also have an opportunity. Would you be happy when my side obstructs him the way you're obstructing me?
Honorable Minority Leader, address the chair. Honorable Adongo, resume your seat.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the Bank of Ghana, after explaining the increase in the gross floor area, now covering 107,000 square meters, now gives us a breakdown of the new design. And under the new design, these are the breakdowns. One, they say they're now going to have a tower, urban and amenities blocks with basements, podiums, and ancillary facilities. And these are the specific breakdowns. The tower block is supposed to be a 20-story block, urban block of 18-story, amenities block 6-story, basement of 5 levels with car park areas, ancillary facilities, energy farms, treatment plants, and security gate houses. Then they go further to say, in addition to meeting these requirements of all relevant building codes, the building design incorporated sustainable design concepts such as energy conservation, water conservation, recycling, and reuse of waste, liquid and solid. And they said that this thing is the first of its kind in the country. Then they go further to say the design satisfies the excellence in design for greater efficiencies green standard, for which preliminary EDGE advance has been used. Excellence in design for greater efficiencies. EDGE. Mr. Speaker, this is Bank of Ghana to us. Now, the paragraph 18. The ETC of the bank at its meeting held in December 2022 considered and approved the design review and the revised project costs of 2,068 per square meter. This figure is lower than the market value with data from African Properties and Construction Cost Guide of 2021-2022 stating 2,658 per square meter, and in 2022-2023 at 2,720 per square meter at average construction cost for prestige high-rise office spaces in Africa. Mr. Speaker, this report is coming from the bank, that in all their dealings, they ensured value for money, and then the pricing was even far lower in terms of known costs, benchmarks in the industry. This is in their report, not mine. Mr. Speaker, the central bank continues to say that the CTRC subsequently granted concurrent approval for the revised scope of works at the cost of 2,068 per square meter, which translates into 222 million as the construction cost. So, Mr. Speaker, from all indications in the report from Central Bank, and in fact, it is not as if the managers or the directors who were in charge of this project are the ones who are still there to trigger any curiosity. They are not in office. Dr. Addison is no more there. His other deputies are not there. Dr. St0rm and the new team are here to give us an honest account of what the records have. And they've been very sincere that should anybody on the streets of Accra today say that the central bank building, that project did not meet value for money or that it is too expensive, what Bank of Ghana is saying is that it is cheaper as compared to market standards. What the central bank is saying that the construction of the entire project came at a lesser cost to the country, and that they have saved this country money. The records are here. Mr. Speaker, if you come to paragraph 19, the central bank again gives us a further breakdown that out of the construction cost of 222, payment made to date is $202 million, leaving $20 million to be paid. He says that...
Honorable Minority Leader,
yes,
please be brief.
Yes, sure. I'm concluding. Thank you, Chair. Now, he says that as at end of February 2025, over $42 million had been paid in taxes. Mr. Speaker, of emphasis is the fact that this construction came at a great huge savings to the state. Instead of the contractor being paid $2,658 per square meter, Bank of Ghana was able to negotiate a lower amount of $2,068. This is contained in paragraph 18. Bank of Ghana is saying that apart from following due process, it has also saved the taxpayer money. That we have 107,000 square meter projects. On each square meter, there is a savings of $600 plus. Multiply $600 plus, multiply it by 107,000 square meter. What do we get? My math is not good. We are talking about something amount in excess of $70 million. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I welcome the governor's closing remarks in his submission to the effect that, yes, these steps were all taken. These are the hard facts. However, there is a new board coming in. All these facts will be made known to the new board. I welcome that. That is how we ensure good governance. So the new board must know. Two, Governor also assures us that all these things, in spite of the cost savings and all, will still be subjected to value for money audit, which is also good. AESL is a known institution, and with all the professionals involved, I believe that if they look at it, they will be able to come to a certain conclusion. So I think that it is very fair. We must not play any political football with this. Mr. Speaker, I will conclude with an observation that in future, should some of these concerns emanate in this house, I believe, has some aspect in the area of building and construction. We may perhaps have to look at inviting Mr. Speaker to set up a special committee which is made up of experts in that field. I'm a legal practitioner. I'm not an expert in that field of design and construction. So I may not make it when it comes to the selection onto that committee. But in this house, there are IT experts, there are architects, there are engineers, There are financial engineers who know this field. So to guide us and not to expose this house to some public, I don't want to say public ridicule. We don't need to expose ourselves that everything is politics. No. But I think that even this exercise, in spite of all the procedural issues, is good for governance. At least the public out there knows that the people's representatives are doing their work. A new Bank of Ghana, you've come transparently, done it. I know some TV stations were carrying it live. They had to truncate at a point. It's good for governance. So, Mr. Governor, thank you once again. Chairman, I appreciate your patience in indulging me. I would resume my seat without more and pray that when the board is sworn in and the work that is expected is done, Governor would again come and apprise the House with the outcome.
Trust me.
Don't worry.
It is
My niece looks beautiful in pregnancy. I'm going to have one that looks exactly like me.
Governor, the deliberations, throughout the discussions and throughout the commentary, initially we're told that the building cost 222 million United States dollars. At the time of the inauguration of the building a few months ago, the media reported that the building cost $250 million. That's what the media reported. But by today's briefing, we are getting to know that the actual cost of the building is $261,773,268 million United States dollars. United States dollars. So this is the first time that those of us who have been at the forefront demanding accountability, demanding information. I have personally written several times.
I am to inform you that taxes are not part of the 260.
Yes. So taxes are not part of the 261 million. So if we added taxes, which you say is 46 million, then so whatever it is, when you construct property and it's being valued, they don't value the property separate from the taxes. The value is the value. So the point is that the governor has come today and we've gotten to know the true cost of the property, which is that it cost $261,773,268. It is not 222 million, and it is not 250 million. The point that the statement also reveals is that for several years, the Bank of Ghana has been wanting to build a new head office building. And that one day themselves wrote to PPA they themselves proposed a property that cost $100 million. They themselves proposed a property that cost $100 million. That the PPA gave them an approval to construct a property valued at $81 million. So you yourself, the bank, you want to PPA and say, we want a property valued at $100 million. And PPA said, no, go and construct a property valued at $81 million. Today, you have come to tell Ghanaians that in spite of the fact that PPA says, go and construct a property valued at $81 million, you have gone and ultimately you have maneuvered and you have constructed a property worth $261 million. $261 million from your own request, of $100 million, from PPA directing you that it should be $81 million. Today, you are telling us that the property you constructed cost $261 million. Mr. Chairman, I listened carefully. The contract was for a building with all its facilities and design. A building that initially was going to be 73,000 square meters. A building that was going to be 73,000 square meters. Then there was a decision to redesign it, and the redesign produced a bank building that is 107,736 square meters. So the square meters, please pay attention. Please pay attention. Why are you running away from a discussion of this? Please, listen. No, listen.
Honorable Majority Leader, please address the chair. Order.
No, I will flow.
Honorable Tampuli, I don't know you to be like this. Honorable Majority Leader, you have the floor.
So the building design moved from 73,000 square meters to 107,000 square meters, 107.7. That is 46.7% increase in the square meters. 46.6% increase in the square meters. Now let's get to the cost, the price. Whereas, so the price for 73,000 square meters was 121 million United States dollars. When you redesigned it and it moved from 73,000 to 107,000, the price moved from 121 million to 222 million. And that is a price increase of 84%. 84%. So you say that the indicator is the cost per square meter. You said that. The indicator. Why are you eager to defend the construction and the pricing? Why are you so eager to defend it? Listen carefully. I gave you a cost minus the security and then the ICT and then the CCTV camera, because the cost of 222 did not include those ones, because the CCTV, the security and all those are a separate contract. So I'm giving you just the square meters cost. You said the square meter cost, is that okay, is 222 million, 222 million point 7 for the 107 square meters. And I'm saying that how is it possible that your square meters moved from 73,000 square meters to 107? That is 46%. And yet your price moved from 121 million to 222 million, which is 83% in the increase in the price. So your square meters increased by 46%, and then your price increased by 84%. How is that possible?
It doesn't make sense.
How is that possible? We're not costing high. We're costing square meters. I'm saying that we're costing square meters. Square meters. Let's get serious here, please. Let's get serious. The whole country is watching us. We're on live television. We're on live television. How can you convince the SS student, former Minister for Education, how can you convince the SS student that you say you are pricing a building based on square meters, and you say that 73,000 square meters cost you 73,000 square meters moving to 107 square meters, the percentage increase is 46.6%, and then when it comes to the price of the same square meters, then it now moves from 121 million to 222 million, which is 84%. How is that possible? Can you explain that? Can you explain that? For me, this is a critical issue. This is a critical issue in my analysis of the price adjustment. And this is why I marched several times to the Bank of Ghana building. This is why I demonstrated from Circle to the Bank of Ghana, because I never understood why a price movement, square meter movement of 46% will attract a price increase of 84%. I need answers. That has to be explained. That has to be explained. Chairman, today we have also gotten to know that the CCTV cameras and other security features of the building cost us 15.8 million United States dollars. CCTV cameras and other security features. It says IES installation cost. Then ICT installation cost. ICT installation cost costs 8.6 million United States dollars. And then the furniture, the chairs that the workers will sit on and work, cost us $11 million. $11 million. How many workers are in the building that it will cost the Republic of Ghana $11 million to buy chairs for them to sit? We want to know how many workers are in the building for it to cost us $11 million to buy chairs for them to sit in. So let me ask, in addition, a few basic questions. I know that you have just assumed office. and you are telling us that this is the report that you have been given. Have you verified the square meters? Have you verified? Have you verified the square meters? Have you verified the square meters? 2, have you conducted a value for money audit? Because this House is not going to end the matter here. This House, we're asking the governor questions. This House is not going to stop here. This House is going to follow up with you so that when you verify using AESL or any other institute, let's say the Institute of Architectural Engineers of Ghana, for instance, or even the institute at KNUST, when you use them to verify, we expect you to come back to this House and report to us. Secondly, we want you to assemble the engineers, the architects, and the surveyors and explain to me how a variation of 40. You are not interested. I brought him here to answer questions for me. You are not interested. So
please,
I'm the one interested. Clearly, you are not interested. Clearly, you would have loved that and forgot about the building and its cost.
Honorable Majority Leader, please address the chair.
So we want you to explain to us how the price moved from 121 million to 222 million, which is 83%, when the square meters moved from 73,000 to 107,000, which is 46.6%. For me, these are the critical questions that must be answered, in addition to verifying the actual work that was done. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honourable members, let me use the opportunity to thank the governor and his team for very well. Governor, please respond to the numerous questions asked, then I will conclude.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. We have taken note of all the questions that honorable members have asked. And as I said, the board will delve into this. There are some residual matters that I cannot talk about, even aside the value for money issues. And given that no value for money has been done so far, given what I've been told by the project team, I think it makes sense to engage an independent agency. It helps all of us to benchmark. And so we will seek the authority of the board, and as Honorable Ayariga, Majority Leader, has demanded, we will get answers to those specific questions, after which we are happy to report back to leadership of Parliament. We derive our powers from Parliament. The Bank of Ghana Act is an act of Parliament. In fact, in 2016, when we amended our act, we were mandated to report to Parliament twice yearly. And yesterday, I signed the report on our operations for the second half year of last year, which is coming to Parliament. So we welcome your oversight functions, even within the context of our independence. I believe that we need you as we strive to restore public trust to the central bank We want to strengthen the integrity of that institution, and I believe we are partners in this regard. This is only the first one, but we will be back anytime we need Parliament to support us in our mandate. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Honorable Brandon Ashanti.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my side, we asked the governor questions from this document, which he himself presented to us. All the questions are from this document. So he cannot say that he will take our views. We asked questions, not views, we didn't make suggestions. We expect him. He is new, but the people left of him, they are not new. I know this man very well. We've met at EMT. The institution Bank of Ghana is not new. So the questions that we are asking, he should be able to answer, because the questions are from this document. For example, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I'm saying that this side, we don't want to allow the governor to take our views. We have not made views or suggestions. We ask questions. My leader asks questions. So he is supposed to answer. I ask questions. I asked 3 questions. We expect the governor to answer the questions. You brought him here to come and embarrass us. Let him answer the questions. Mr. Speaker, the governor should answer the questions. He is new. The bank is not new. The team is not new. The questions are from this document. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. He shouldn't leave this house without answering the questions.
Honorable available leader. Honorable available, yes. Honorable Yarga, let me hear you.
The honorable member just said that I brought the governor here to embarrass them. Mr. Speaker, are they the ones who procured the Bank of Ghana building? Are you the one who procured the building? Or are you admitting that you had a hand in the procurement of the building? How come you will be the ones embarrassed if the actual price is known? How?
Maybe he's a consultant.
Are you involved in the procurement? So please, it's a public asset. It was procured with taxpayers' money. I had issues. In fact, this side had issues. 138 of us, 36 of us, we marched. I have asked questions that cannot be answered now. He says that he is not capable of answering them now. He has to go and refer the issues to his board, get permission from the board to now go and do a value for money audit and etc. So please.
Honourable members, I use the opportunity to thank the Governor of Bank of Ghana and the team for attending upon the House and responding to questions and taking suggestions on board. So once again, thank you. Honourable members, I also thank you for having a successful committee of the whole meeting. Governor and the team, you are accordingly discharged. House is reconstituted to plenary.
Take your phone and make up. See the way you put your this thing. Challenge you came with money. Me na my phone point. Bro, keep your tripod and make up. Leave out small one.